This is Arancia, one of the latest projects by Beyond in City of Arabia. Today, I'll walk you through the highlights of the project, show you all the features, tell you about available unit types, and answer the big question: is this a smart investment? Let's start with the location. Arancia is located in City of Arabia, which sits inside an undeveloped part of Dubai land. It doesn't have the day-to-day infrastructure yet. Although it looks a bit far into the desert, the drive to downtown is actually only around 20 minutes. The Silicon Oasis, which is the free zone for IT companies, is just 10 minutes away. That is why this area is positioned well for working expats. IMG Worlds of Adventure is 3 minutes away from here, and Global Village is about 15 minutes. Now let's talk about the project itself. Before we get into Arancia, it's important to understand that Arancia doesn't stand alone. It's the first phase of a larger master community by Beyond called The Yards. The Yards is a 165,000 square meter master community. The full master plan is split into 5 phases and includes 17 buildings in total, 13 residential buildings and 4 commercial and retail buildings. The commercial and retail cluster is concentrated in the left part of the community, while the residential buildings occupy the rest. The community is designed as a car-free pedestrian environment. About 70% of the community is greenery, and there are lagoons, lap pools, pavilions, and more than 2 kilometers of jogging and cycling trails. Now let's talk about Arancia. Arancia is the very first residential launch in this 5-phase community, the first 3 residential buildings out of 13. As the later phase launch, prices are expected to be higher, and in most cases the quality difference between the phases is limited. So early buyers in phase 1 are essentially getting the same product as later phases, just at a lower entry price, so they will get much higher value appreciation. Looking at the master plan, Arancia occupies one section in the right of the Yards community, the 3 buildings highlighted on the plan. The rest of the community will be launched over the next 4 phases. The cluster of Arancia consists of 3 residential buildings with 272 units in total, about 90 units per building. The buildings are G+7 and G+6, with ground floor for retail. The 3 buildings are spaced 19 meters apart to keep privacy between them. Inside you'll find 1, 2 and 3 bedroom apartments. So now that you've seen what Arancia has to offer, the big question remains: should you consider investing, or is it better to wait for the next opportunity? To help you decide, our team created a PDF report with everything you need to know to make an informed investment decision. Project details, price analysis, rental projections, and other important data to make an informed investment decision. We're sharing this report for free. Scan the QR code or click the link below the video if you want to get it. Now let me share the key points of our analysis. I'll walk you through the main factors, starting with the developer's reliability. Beyond is a newly created sisters company of Omniad, focused on more affordable developments compared to Omniad's ultra-luxury segment. Beyond hasn't delivered any projects in Dubai yet, but Omniad has already built a solid reputation, so let's take a closer look at that. Omniad was founded about 20 years ago and has delivered 22 projects in Dubai since then. Some of their projects feature futuristic design, like the Opus and Business Bay. This building was designed in collaboration with Zaha Hadid, the famous Iraqi-British architect. Since 2021, Opus has grown by 154%. Also, one of Omniad's flagship projects is one at Palm Jumeirah, which features ultra-luxurious penthouses and apartments with stunning water and Dubai Marina views. The building is managed by Dorchester, an ultra-luxury hotel brand. Since 2021, prices there have increased by an average of 124%. On the other hand, Omniad projects are sometimes delivered with delays. This could be due to the complex of architecture of their designs, but it's something investors should keep in mind. So yes, Beyond hasn't delivered a project in Dubai yet, but the direct connection to Omniad and its 20-year track record gives strong confidence in what to expect. Beyond will benefit from Omniad's established design standards, construction processes, and supplier network. To clarify, we're not affiliated with Omniad, Beyond, or any other developer in the UAE. Our advice is 100% independent and aimed at helping clients to make the most of their investments through data-driven decisions. We provide personalized property recommendations, detailed cost analysis, revenue forecasts, and full support throughout the entire purchase process. In short, we handle everything from start to finish, and we do it all for free. So give us a call, send a WhatsApp message, scan the QR code, or click the link below the video to get a free consultation with our team. We're available 7 days a week. Now that we've covered Beyond, let's take a closer look at the pricing for Arancia. A one-bedroom is going to start from $300,000 or 1.1 million dirhams. A two-bedroom is from $572,000 or 2.1 million dirhams. And a three-bedroom is going to start from $900,000 or 3.3 million dirhams. The payment plan is expected to be 40-60. 40% during construction and 60% on handover, which is very flexible for such a level of developer and community. Now let's see if this is competitive by looking at comparable projects. For a fair comparison, we're only looking at one-bedroom apartments across all projects. The first one is Benghazi Sky Hall. This is an off-plan project located right across the road from Arancia, almost the same location by a strong and well-established developer. Second, Azizi Milan, another off-plan project located right next to Arancia. It is a standalone building rather than a part of the community, but in terms of proximity, it's a direct local competitor. Third, Belgravia Gardens by Ellington. This project targets similar buyer profile, sits in a similar quality segment, and it is a mini community. It is about 5 to 10 minutes away by car from Arancia, in also undeveloped location. Fourth, the Haven Residences. This is the only ready building in our comparison. It was completed in August of 2025 in the neighboring community Majan. And fifth, District in Gulf Woods. This project by Majid Al Futtaim sits very close to Arancia and with the concept of the green community. Now let's compare the pricing per square foot. Benghazi Sky Hall $376 or 1,380 dirhams per square foot. Azizi Milan $381 or 1,400 dirhams per square foot. Belgravia Gardens $447 or 1,640 dirhams. The Haven Residences $384 or 1,410 dirhams per square foot. District in Gulf Woods $528 or 1,940 dirhams. And Arancia $393 or 1,443 dirhams per square foot. Let's break that down. Benghazi Sky Hall and Azizi Milan are priced in line with Beyond's project, but there's a meaningful difference in what you're actually buying. Neither Benghazi Sky Hall or Azizi Milan is part of a fully planned master community. They're standalone buildings. You are paying almost the same amount, but you are getting a substantially more complete environment, and overall expected building quality of Beyond is higher than those two developers. The Haven Residences is also priced in line with Arancia. Today's project is a newer product by a stronger developer inside the master community with the higher standards of the quality. Belgravia Gardens is about 14% more expensive per square foot than Arancia. Belgravia is developed by Ellington, which today has a strong Dubai track record. While they're targeting the same client's profile as Beyond, the scale of Ellington's project is smaller. District in Gulf Woods is priced by around 34% more per square foot than Arancia, simply because it is the larger scale of the community, which is already at the later stage of the development. Overall, Arancia looks like a balanced and competitively priced option within its peer group. Now that we've covered costs, let's look at the potential rental income. For conservative analysis, we used the Haven Residences, a ready project in the neighboring area Majan, that was completed in August 2025. We're using it as the minimum benchmark, and since the quality and positioning of Beyond's project are higher, we can expect stronger returns once it's completed. Here are the recent rental transactions in Haven Residences. One-bedroom apartments rents out by $21,500 or 79,000 dirhams per year. Two bedrooms for $28,500 or 105,000 dirhams per year, and three bedrooms $50,500 or 185,000 dirhams per year. These numbers leads to the 7.2% rent-to-price ratio for the one-bedroom apartment, 5% for the two-bedroom, and 5.6% for the three-bedroom apartments. The one-bedroom yield is particularly attractive. 7.2% is well above the Dubai's market average. The larger units come down a bit, which is normal, but the overall rental picture is solid. What could drive the future growth for Arancia? First, the developer. Omniat has a 20-year track record in Dubai with strong appreciation across its delivered projects. Beyond inherits Omniat's design and construction systems. Second, the pricing. Arancia is priced up to 34% below its competitors. Third, it's the very first phase. As the future phases of the yard's launch, prices are expected to rise. Fourth, the master community itself. The Yards is a community with its own retail, swimmable areas, greenery, jogging and cycling trails, and fully pedestrian environment. So what are the potential growth barriers? The only one is the local infrastructure. City of Arabia is still at the early stage of development, so it will take time to be fully developed. So should you invest? Arancia looks like a solid investment. It's built by Beyond, the sister's company of Omniad, one of the strongest names on the market. You're entering at the first phase pricing inside of the 5-phase master community, which means the lowest possible entry price for the yards. The price per square foot is competitive against the neighbors. Expected rental yields are strong, especially on the one-bedroom side at around 7.2%. And the master community itself adds the long-term value as the rest of the yards gets built. Get in touch with us to reserve an attractive unit in Arancia. The yards in the City of Arabia offer any assistance with real estate investments in the UAE. And if you would like to learn more about investing in Dubai properties, check out this video.